clothes as well. Hello guys, it's me, Butterfly Spirit. So I am back with another video. So today I took a pole class. So today is July 14th. When you guys watch this video, it might be another date by that time, but that's neither here nor there, and that's totally fine with me. So today I got to attend my third pole class. It's really my fourth class, but it's really the third class. But because basically I took one unofficial class, and then this is my third official class. But don't worry about it. So anyway, I just counted as class number 3. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what happened in my class today. So you guys can kind of know what happened. And I guess I'll just kind of go from there. So today I plan to take the earlier class today. So I was going to take the 11 o'clock class, but for some reason, when I tried to purchase the class today on my phone, I wasn't able to. So I ended up just taking my normal class at like 1 p.m. and everything, and which was fine. It was okay. I was a little nervous about going into the 11 o'clock class because there was like 3 other people in that class, and I was kind of worried if like my instructor was going to be able to like pay attention to me or anything like that. So I think the 1 o'clock class was totally fine, and I like the vibe of it too. So I ended up taking my normal 1 p.m. class today. So so in terms of the attendees for this class, it was me, my instructor, and then there was another student in my class. So the other student in the class, she is a college student in her senior year of college. She's studying marketing, and she's on the cheer team. So her body is really used to, working out and everything and stuff with cheer, doing all types of jumps and, high energy, like engagement with her body and stuff like that and stuff. She was pretty small. She was like probably like 4 feet 8 or something like that. So she was a tiny girl, but she was cute. She was a cute Asian girl. She was cute and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so small because I guess she was shorter than me. But anyway, yeah, but she like I really expected her to be quiet, but really she was like very confident. She came in wearing glasses, but she took the glasses off and she was like, okay, let's get this. And it was her first ever pole class. Like I said, I'm on my third pole class and everything. But she really was able to keep up and stuff like that with the class and stuff. In the past, if I was taking a class with somebody who had like a lot more experience with like high energy stuff with their body, I would be like, man, but I was like completely chilled and I was just like, all right, cool. She's like doing her thing. And I'm like, all right. So um I just had a feeling of something. I got a feeling about something that's gonna happen. So, um, something. I just got this gut feeling about something. So anyway, so I wasn't intimidated to be taking a class with somebody who had a cheer background, and I think it's cool. I think pole is for everybody. It's for anybody who wants to be able to work out but do something fun. And work their body out and do something that builds confidence, which I love about pole. So let's see what else happened. So the other attendee in class, she asked what I did. I told her I worked in the finance industry, which I do, and everything. And I said what company I worked for and all that and stuff. She's like, oh, okay. And since she's a senior in college, like she's trying to figure out like what kind of path she wants to take on. Like she's studying marketing, but I guess she doesn't know like what company she wants to work for or whatever. My instructor works in a desk job, and she works for a Christian organization. And like my instructor was like, if her job knew that she was doing pole dancing, they would lose their shit and she'd probably be fired from her job. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, I think it was nice that we all kind of got to bond and stuff, just kind of three of us and just like talk and everything, which was like fun. So, moving on. Next thing I'm going to talk about is prior to class starting, I freshened up first because it's 100 degrees today where I live. The index is like 106 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was hot. All right. So, yeah, when I got to my class, like before it started, I freshened up. And I changed my clothes because it was hot outside and I wanted to be in some nice fresh clothes when I was doing pole and everything. I didn't want to be like dripping with sweat and all that. Like I didn't want to do all that. Okay. So I got freshened up, which I was really glad about. And then after that, that's when the other attendee, showed up or whatever. What I like to do before pole class is I love to change my clothes and freshen up because I feel like it just, kind of lets me kind of relax before I start doing anything, whether I'm doing like pole dancing or if I'm doing twerking or whatever. It just allows me to kind of refresh and everything like that and just kind of become like more present in the moment. And that's what works for me. Okay. So when class started, or after class started, we started with our warm up like we normally do. So we started off by doing some jogging. So of course, it's getting our heart rates up and stuff like that with jogging. And then we kind of did some hand movements, kind of jazzercise movements with our hands as we're running in place. We're doing like this and like this and like this and that or that and stuff, and running in place and stuff. So we're doing that and everything just to get our bodies kind of moving and everything like that, our heart rates up and stuff. And then we started by doing some standing stretches and everything like that. And then we transitioned from the standing stretches to basically our stretches where we're, holding onto the pole and we're kind of stretching our legs with like basically like bending stretches, essentially like that, kind of kneeling stretches or whatever, with our hand on the pole. And then after that, we transitioned to floor stretches. So in my prior couple of videos, what I didn't mention is when we do our floor stretches, so we do a floor stretch is called, I believe it's the pigeon stretch is what we do. And that's meant to help with flexibility and stuff. And I feel like it makes me look like I'm like super flexible and everything like that when I'm like not. So after that, and that is a floor stretch, by the way. And then after we do that, then we do a stretch. It's called, my instructor calls it the happy baby. So it's like a stretch where it's like a baby kind of, with our feet in the air, kind of holding onto our feet and everything. And the point is, it's like it's more like a hip stretch and stuff as we're like pulling our weight from our legs down into our hips to kind of stretch our hips and stuff like that gently. And then after that, we do a stretch. And basically, so we go from the happy baby stretch, where we're basically stretching our hips and stuff, and we do that to doing the stretch. My instructor calls it stretching like a happy stripper. So what is that? You guys may be asking. So what that is basically I'm laying on my back. My legs are basically outstretched as much as I can and like splitting my legs up in the air, essentially. Okay. Like a stripper would do with her legs open. Right. So if you guys know what that is, kudos to you. But yeah, we do that, like a happy stripper. So I feel like that stretch is pretty interesting. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know some people may be a little uncomfortable if they're not comfortable, like their legs being wide open like that. For me, I'm like, it's fine. I'm in pole dancing. Like, I'm in a cool environment. And that's what I love about pole dancing. It's a very safe environment, and stuff. And if you guys decide to take pole dancing, don't be afraid to if you don't feel comfortable doing something, definitely tell the instructor, say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and stuff, and just do what you feel comfortable doing with your body. You don't have to force yourself to do stuff you don't want to do. I've seen, when I was in, not only in pole dancing, but when I have been in ballet classes, people try to force their bodies to do things that their body is not comfortable doing. They try to force themselves to do stuff. And it's not necessary to do those types of things. It's important to listen to your body and listen to what your body feels comfortable doing, because if your body feels in pain about doing a certain movement, it's important to listen to that. Okay. And also, it's important, if you have any injuries, let your instructor know. And this isn't just for what I'm doing, for ballet or pole dancing or anything like that. It's also for, if you're doing any kind of working out or anything like that, or any kind of stretching, you have an injury and you have somebody doing personal training, or you're in physical therapy, let the person know that is coaching you. Let them know, so they know, like, you're in pain if you do a certain thing. It's very, 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 very important. Okay. All right. So next, what we did is we started off with our pull movements. So we did the step around. So that's the movement basically where we're using, we have the pole on static. So what that means is that the pole is standing still. So it's basically where I'm moving my body around the pole, and I'm stepping, doing a movement more. I'm stepping around the pole with my body. Okay. And it's kind of hard to describe, and things, but I don't know of any videos. I think that they call it something different, but they just call it, in my class, they call it step arounds. But I've gotten a lot better with it than I was able to do in the first class. In the first class, I was kind of like not able to do it. In my second class, I was able to do it better, because I was able to, kind of sleep on it and everything, and let my body kind of like process what I was doing and stuff. And then the next class, I was ready. So that was pretty cool and everything. And then next we did a step around, but we did it a little different, because this is a step around where we actually face the pole, and we bend our knee, like we bend one of our knees like into the pole, like we're kneeling. And then with our other leg, we stretch it out as though we're pointing our leg back. And then we do a step around, which is definitely different, but I was able to do. I like the fact that I was able to do that movement after doing it a couple of times. And with any pole movement, what we do is we always do it on both sides of the body. So we train both sides of the body to be comfortable with doing pole movements, because sometimes people, when they do like get started in pole, what they'll do is they'll just do it on the side, like the right side of their body, but they'll like not do it on the left. And then, they'll train a lot of movements on the right side, but then when it comes to try to do like movements later on the left side, then they struggle, and that becomes their weak side. So training both sides of the body, and I learned this with doing ballet, with my warm-ups. Like, I've learned that like training both sides of the body helps the body to be more balanced, and the muscle memory to develop and stuff. And that's something I was able to develop by doing ballet and stuff. And what I've been trying to do is like incorporate ballet into like where I can do ballet and pole and do twerking, throughout the week. But I'm like working on that. So the next thing we did is we did our fireman spins on a static pole. So again, a static pole is where the pole is basically standing still and we are moving around the pole. So a fireman spin essentially it's basically like I'm wrapping one of my legs around the pole and then I'm spinning around the pole. Okay. That's basically what I'm doing. So I'm wrapping my leg around the pole and then jumping up onto the pole and then spinning. And doing it on a static pole, it can take some getting used to, my first class when I tried doing a fireman spin, I was completely lost. And I didn't know how to do it. But here we are on the third class, and I was just crushing it. It took me a little bit to remember it, but I was able to land it, which was pretty fun and pretty cool. Then we moved on and we practiced climbing on a static pole. So climbing on the pole is, for me, I'm still getting used to it, even though I've done it in the last two classes. Like, I'm still not very comfortable with climbing up on the pole, and I still have to think a lot about it. But it's really like, I'm getting better at it, but I don't feel like I'm strong at climbing the pole. And it can take people time to learn to climb the pole. Like, it's not something that's like super easy to learn. It's like it really takes muscle memory, and there's a lot of muscles that are needing to be built up in order to do that. But I was able to climb up on a little bit on the pole, but not very much. But I have to build like my muscles to be able to like do that. Okay. But yeah, I did practice climbing and stuff. The other student, she did okay with being on the pole. Like, she was able to like jump up on the pole, and like she wasn't able to climb very much either, but she was really holding on to that pole. She really was. And I was like, I understand why she wanted to hold on for dear life onto the pole when it comes to climbing, because it feels safe to just stay put on the pole. It just feels better to do that. But trying to climb all the way up the pole, that can be another thing. But she did pretty well, with the step arounds and the modified step around, and then doing the fireman spin and stuff. And me and her both, we were able to figure it out with the help of our instructor, which was like, in my opinion, was awesome. And I like that we got the individual attention. When I took pole in the past at the other studio I attended, we really didn't get that kind of individualized attention, and the class just flew by, and it felt like the instructor was trying to like push so much into it and stuff. Even though I attended like 5 classes, like I didn't feel like I like got to understand like the movements and build on the movements like I'm doing in this class. I might go back to that studio at some point, maybe. I'm not sure, but I like the studio I'm at now. Like, I like how, my instructor and I, like, my instructor gets it, that it takes us to kind of learn, and she's comfortable with like helping us to like learn how to do the movements correctly, and I like that. And she's like, and yeah, if she needs to adjust her body, she's like, can I touch you? Because some people don't like to be touched. So, she asks us, is it okay if I touch you? And then she'll like, maybe move our leg or arm position or something like that and stuff, or whatever. And just to help us to like learn like how our body should respond to certain movements, and what our body position should be with respect to the pole. And I really love that. I think it's really cool. Let's see. So then we practiced doing our fireman spins on a spinning pole. And I have to tell you, I was dizzy. Okay. I was dizzy. Like, I'm talking about, I was dizzy to the point where like when I got off the pole, like I was like literally dizzy, like the room was spinning, and I was like, oh my gosh. So being on a spinning pole, you will get dizzy if you guys ever decide to do that. And it's definitely, it can make you dizzy. All right, definitely. I got dizzy a few times. But my instructor, she gave us some tips on like how to like not get so dizzy and stuff on the pole, which I really, really loved about that. And like one of her tips was to like look at the floor, like the outline of the floor as we're on the spinning pole, So pay attention to that, or pay attention to like the ceiling, like pay attention to like the different parts of the ceiling around the room. And that really helped me not to be so dizzy. And I really like that a lot. Then after that, we did some martini spins, which was pretty fun. I thought that was fun to do. We did the martini spin. We practiced doing a martini spin. So a martini spin is basically It's a fireman spin, but the leg is outstretched, so that's a little bit different. And I really wasn't able to connect that too much, but I was able to do it, but it took me some tries to do it. But I'm still a little lost on it, but I was able to do it. So I'm like, okay, yay, at least I did it right. Um, and then we did some combos. So we did a combo where we did a step around pole move into a fireman spin. And we did that, I believe we did that on, yeah, we did that on a static pole, I believe. And then we did, I believe we did that on a static pole, or it could have been on a spinning pole. Then we did a step around into a martini spin. So I think we did both of those on a spinning pole, I believe. And I think I was able to do both of them. And that is a huge achievement for me because for me personally, like my first class, like I was not able to put anything together, like even my second class, but like, well, my second class, I started to kind of be able to do, but now I'm kind of like, kind of relaxing into it and like learning how to like just go with the flow. And that's why I go with the flow is in the title of this video, because like I'm learning how to like get out of my head and just kind of let myself do pole movements. I still am a thinker. I'm going to think about stuff. But I'm not afraid to like speak up in class and ask and my instructor and say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help me with this? You know what I mean? And I love having that attention, you know, for my instructor to be able to make sure I'm doing pole movements right and stuff. And I'm on my third class. I feel more confident in myself and stuff and things, which is pretty awesome too. I have been practicing at home. I've been practicing walking around the pole. So, walking around the pole, for many of you who don't know, is a foundational skill with pole dancing, and it helps me and other pole dancers to be able to it helps me and other pole dancers to be able to like think about like, you know, any pole movements we're going to be transitioning into and doing and stuff as a part of a routine and stuff too. So it is hugely helpful. But anyway, guys, that was my experience today in my pole class. I know I went through a lot. Wow, this video is like 22 minutes. But anyway, that was my pole class. My teacher talked about where we can get pole dancing shoes. You guys may have saw in a couple of my shorts that I tried on some pole dancing shoes. Still trying to decide on pole dancing shoes to buy and everything. So I'll see what happens from there. I'm kind of tired after doing pole dancing. Excuse me. Still trying to decide and everything on that, like the shoes I want to get and things. So, but I'm very happy with my progress as far as pole is concerned and everything. And I'm gonna, of course, continue with it. My instructor is going on vacation for the next couple of weeks, so I won't be able to do pole with her. Um, so I'm gonna like supplement that with, I believe, with a twerking class. I'll have to see what I want to do. But the twerking class is with another instructor, but I'll see what happens. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, I know you guys are gonna be watching this at a later date, which is totally fine. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you guys like following along with my progress as I learn about pole and I share the things I do with you. And it's kind of like a video journal in a sense. So I like remember things that I like learned and stuff. My instructor did say we could record ourselves doing movements. I might have my pole instructor record me doing some pole movements. So I might do that maybe in class. So I might have her kind of record me just so I can have it as like a reference. But anyway, otherwise, you know, and recording is great because it helps the pole dancers see their progress and stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you, and bye for now. Bye.